I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati.
Jay-Z was the last person to see Big L alive. He's been dead for years. His death made it possible for reasonable doubt to live.
Whoa.
See how good I keep secrets, Sean?
He's got and he's got semen-coated VHS tapes.
Comedian Jim Carrey has purportedly sent a chilling message to Jaguar Wright, which has made her fans worried for the singer's safety. His message comes in the wake of all the recent happenings in the entertainment industry that have gotten a few people arrested. It's not often that you hear the funny man air his candid views about Hollywood, but whenever he does, his words reverberate across social media because they are true. He's not the one to mince words and certainly not the one to throw about conspiracy theories, which makes his warnings all the more serious. What message did the Bruce Almighty star send to Jaguar Wright? And how does his own experience dovetail into the warning to Wright?
I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati.
I've got all the juice right here, so stick with me as I explore the purported message to Jaguar Wright and its connections to Jim Carrey's own experience. Jim Carrey has caused a stir on the internet with his latest message allegedly directed to singer Jaguar Wright. Many fans find it worrisome and have flocked to Jaguar Wright's page to plead with her to listen to The Mask actor because he's been down that road before. However, the I Can't Wait singer appears headstrong as she bent on continuing on that same path. Word on the street suggests that Carrey has cautioned Jaguar Wright to be careful with her newfound passion for exposing the evil in Hollywood. Though Carrey was purportedly happy that the singer was shining light on the dark side of Hollywood, he was afraid that it could cost her dearly. He warned her that she could be blackballed, as had happened to many of the people before her who had tried to expose the ills of the entertainment industry. Mark Curry himself was a victim a few years back when he spoke about how the Illuminati controlled the entertainment industry. He once revealed that the secret society had intentionally crafted movies and TV programs to keep the masses entertained and distracted from the real issues of poverty, racism, injustice, and crime that were ravishing the United States. He explained that the Illuminati had its tentacles buried in every aspect of society, including government, and was determined to achieve its aim. These comments brought untold problems for the comic actor, as he hardly found work to do for a couple of years. Of course, this subtle ban affected his career and his reputation, as his fans saw less of him on the screens. That is why he was at pains to caution Jaguar Wright about revealing the sins of some Hollywood elite. For a few years now, the Ain't Nobody Playin' singer has been on a mission to reveal the damning secrets of the entertainment industry elites. Her favorite victims are Diddy and Jay-Z, but since last year, she's been accusing Clive Davis of several crimes. She was one of the few who warned us about Diddy even before Cassie had the courage to sue Diddy last November. It wouldn't be far-fetched to assume that her revelations empowered Cassie and other Diddy victims to come out and unmask Diddy. She once accused Diddy of forcing Christopher Williams to pleasure him before cutting him a check. According to her, she didn't witness the incident herself, but her lawyer, who used to work for Bad Boy Records, once chanced on the unsavory scene and ran out of the office. Narrating how it all went down, Wright said Diddy had a meeting with Christopher Williams about possibly signing a demo deal. The lawyer went up to Diddy's office to look over some paperwork when she met Williams kneeling between Diddy's legs. The lawyer then walked out of the office, and Diddy never spoke about the incident the whole day. However, the next day, the music mogul confronted the lawyer about the incident that happened in his office, and the lawyer asked why he hadn't locked his office. This obviously irked the CEO, and he flared up, saying, "I'll do whatever the F I want to do in my building. It's power, see? If I could make a man my D, I could make people do anything for money," Wright continued. "That's what you said, Puff, about Christopher Williams. Your D for a demo deal and you cut him a check," Wright said in the video. "And you chased that young woman out of New York just like you tried to chase Wendy Williams out of New York. And she came to work for me." Wright explained that the said lawyer had big dreams of becoming the head of legal, but was cut short because of Diddy's shenanigans. "She was a wonderful woman and she was a brilliant attorney, and she thought she was signing up for the ride of her life. You know, she was going to be head of legal at Bad Boy Entertainment and be a female, like that was a big deal. Until she accidentally walked in on her boss's office and caught him getting head from a movie star, which he said was done for nothing more than an exercise of power." At the time that Wright made this allegation, which was somewhere in 2022, she was called all kinds of names, including crazy and a addict. However, she was vindicated when court documents suggested that Diddy was into men. The court document, which is a suit filed by Rodney Jones Jr. against Diddy, detailed how the music mogul tried to sleep with Jones against his will. It detailed how Diddy bragged about sleeping with other notable celebrities in the industry just to lure him into his bed. Now, the names of the alleged men Diddy slept with were redacted, but the footnotes gave a clue about their identity. According to the footnotes, one of the men hailed from Philadelphia and dated Nicki Minaj, which many fans assumed to be referring to Meek Mill. The other man recently hosted a successful Las Vegas residency and performed at the Super Bowl. Many fans thought that description perfectly fit Usher, who has been romantically linked with Diddy several times in the past. So given the details of Rodney Jr.'s lawsuit, many fans began to see the truth in Jaguar Wright's revelations. However, that wasn't all. Y'all remember Wright saying that Diddy hounded the lawyer just the same way he hounded Wendy Williams out of New York? Well, it turned out that Diddy really had a hand in driving Wendy Williams out of New York, as narrated by his former bodyguard Gene Deal. Prior to that, Wendy Williams had been warning us about Diddy for years, but we failed to take note. She was among the first people to accuse the CEO of Combs Enterprises of being gay, but no one took her seriously. Even when she claimed she had pictures to prove her assertions, no one listened except Diddy. Knowing that his reputation was at stake, the music mogul forced Williams' radio station, Hot 97, to fire her. This was revealed by Diddy's former bodyguard Gene Deal, who claimed that the music mogul to stop doing business with them and tell his friends to follow suit. Speaking in an interview with Art of Dialogue, Gene Deal said, "The power Combs had with the radio stations in New York. People didn't breathe hard if Combs didn't want them to. Combs got one of the hottest DJs off Hot 97 because she wanted to put up a picture of him getting his pants pulled down." He then narrated how the music mogul the radio station if they didn't do his Combs told Hot 97 if they didn't get rid of her before he got back in New York, that they was not going to get any music from any of his friends, any of the record label's executives that was cool with him. Everyone was going to boycott their station. Gene Deal then continued that Wendy Williams was fired within 3 days after Diddy reported her to her bosses. "We was out in LA for about 3 days," Deal added. "Before we landed back in New York, Wendy Williams was in the radio station in Philly. It was over for her. She was fired." Though Wendy didn't know Diddy was the reason she lost her job at Hot 97, she vividly remembers him sending people to assault her at the radio station. It was the height of her accusations that the "I'll Be Missing You" rapper was gay and had slept with a couple of guys in the industry. To teach her a lesson and probably silence her forever, the music mogul sent his girl band Total to her radio station. Fortunately, Wendy Williams saw them coming and advised herself before the situation turned physical and violent. "I got off the air one day, them Total were downstairs, and everybody upstairs at the radio station was looking down, egging it on, waiting for something to go down," Williams said, explaining that her boyfriend at the time prevented anything further from happening. Aside from exposing Diddy's S, Williams was also one of the first people to reveal that Diddy had been mistreating Cassie Ventura during their relationship and mentorship. She explained that the rapper was using his position to intimidate Cassie and control her life. She intimated that the singer had no way of escape because Diddy was all over the place, controlling her every move. She told the world that Diddy was an overbearing, controlling, and manipulative freak who was sucking the life out of Cassie. But what feels most significant in light of recent revelations was the moment that Williams speculated on her televised talk show in 2015 that Combs may have had controlling behavior after he and his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura temporarily split. "My thing about when you date a mogul, it's a really difficult thing to avoid them because if you use your head, you never know when they'll pop up on the scene," Williams told her studio audience, saying the activity would frighten her. "He can hire a plane right now, land on the roof of the hotel she's staying, pay people off at the front desk, give me a key and let me up in her room." Once again, people didn't believe her words and called her several names. Diddy also joined the party, calling her out for her highly opinionated views and seemingly harsh criticisms. However, time appears to have vindicated the talk show host, as many victims have exposed the music mogul for his deeds. She once told Vlad TV in 2013, "There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. Now, it's all come full circle," Williams said. "There were many situations back in my career, and it's all coming full circle." Given what Wendy Williams had gone through for exposing Diddy, Jim Carrey is right in warning Jaguar Wright to be careful. He knows the danger ahead, having suffered it himself when he tried to expose the shady business of the elite. Thus, his warning isn't necessarily based on hearsay and speculations, but on facts. During the 90s and early 2000s, Carrey was one of the leading actors in Hollywood, having starred in some of the most successful movies during that era. And Carrey had the salary to match. For his role in How the Grinch Stole Christmas, he was paid a whopping $20 million, making him one of the best paid actors of that year. However, his plummeted, and he was rarely seen in movies, TV series, or even interviews, leading fans to question his whereabouts. He resurfaced to play the villain in the Sonic movies, then went on a hiatus until he announced his resignation in 2022. When asked why he left the scene for such a long time, Carrey revealed the dark truth about the movie industry. "I just didn't want to be in the business anymore. I didn't like what was happening, the corporations taking over and all that." He had observed that the industry had become worse than it used to be, with new companies and individuals signing on to make it worse. He knew that the corporations were only profit-driven and cared little about the industry or the people in it. He had seen evil perpetrated in the industry, and sadly, he had been a victim. Thus, he decided to call it quits. He didn't want to go through the agony of being blacklisted just because he revealed the truth about Hollywood. Staying in the shadows and being treated as if he were irrelevant was enough punishment for any star, so he decided to draw the curtains. When asked what would bring him out of retirement, the 62-year-old comedian said, "It depends. If the angels bring some sort of script that's written in gold ink that says to me that it's going to be really important for people to see, I might continue down the road, but I'm taking a break." For someone to claim only angels could change his mind about coming back into the industry speaks volumes. That person might have seen and experienced evil beyond comprehension, which is why he'll only come back if the divine intervened. For now, he's trying to avoid exposing more evil because he knows what the perpetrators are capable of, and he's advising Jaguar Wright to do the same. Unlike Jim Carrey, Wright's exposés are more explosive and damning, like when she accused Jay-Z of eliminating one of New York's finest rappers, Big L. In an interview, Jaguar Wright claimed that Jay-Z was part of a secret cult that sacrificed other stars and celebrities for their selfish gain. She explained that to get to the top, Jay-Z had to sacrifice Big L, who was battling him for supremacy on the New York rap scene. Known as Lamont Coleman, Big L was one of the finest rappers to emerge from Harlem, New York. The rapper was hugely popular and celebrated for his freestyling ability and wordplay. Some fans believe he was more popular and versatile than Jay-Z. Major hip-hop publications such as AllMusic and Hip Hop DX named him one of the most talented poets in hip-hop history. His fellow rapper once told music producer Funkmaster Flex that he was scared when he first heard Big L perform at the Apollo Theater. "Big L scared me to D. When I heard his performance at the Apollo Theater on tape, I was scared to D. I said, yo, it's no way I can compete if this is what I gotta compete with." However, Big L's burgeoning career was cut short when he was fatally shot in a drive-by incident at the ripe young age of 24. One of Big L's childhood friends was arrested for the crime, but Jaguar Wright thinks he's innocent. In her opinion, Jay-Z was solely responsible for the shooting and should be held accountable. When asked how she knew Jay-Z was responsible, she claimed that Big L told her he had issues with the encore rapper. She claimed that Jay-Z wanted to be known as the hottest MC in Harlem and would do anything to keep that name. Wright didn't just stop there. She also accused the Empire State of Mind rapper of sacrificing Aaliyah to catapult and propel Beyonce into the limelight. She alleged that Jay-Z and his then-girlfriend Beyonce were jealous of Aaliyah's success and thus eliminated her. Aaliyah first burst onto the music scene as a 10-year-old when she performed in an audition. Her outstanding performance won her a spot alongside Gladys Knight as the duo performed at a concert that same year. Her immense talent saw her sign her first professional contract with Jive Records, and she recorded her debut album, Age Ain't Anything But a Number, in 1994. That album brought her into the limelight as it sold 3 million copies in the US alone and went double platinum that same year. Aaliyah was crowned the Princess of R&B and Queen of Urban Pop. After a few successful albums, the Queen ventured into acting, making her debut in the cult classic Romeo Must Die, alongside action film legend Jet Li. Her performance landed her first major role in the movie Queen of the Damned. Aaliyah was all that Beyonce wanted to be and more. At the time, Queen Bey was struggling to make a name for herself in the industry. She had endured several criticisms from fans and critics because they thought her father favored her over other members of the girl group Destiny's Child. The alleged favoritism from Beyonce's father, who doubled as the group's manager, led to some members exiting the group. These exits brought untold backlash on Beyonce, forcing her to briefly quit the music scene. Years later, she confessed that that period was the darkest in her life and that she almost spiraled into depression. Around the same time, Aaliyah was headlining shows, selling out stadiums, featuring in movies, and touring around the world. Beyoncé could only look on as the try-again singer lived her dreams. Even her future husband, Jay-Z, was in love with Aaliyah but couldn't win her heart. Beyoncé's music career took a turn for the worse until she ran into Jay-Z. The couple started dating, and before long, Aaliyah met her tragic end. On a plane from a video shoot in the Bahamas, Aaliyah passed on when the plane crashed a few minutes after takeoff. Her passing broke many hearts, including Jaguar Wrights, who felt that Jay-Z had a hand in it. She explained that Beyoncé wouldn't be the star she is now if Aaliyah was alive. Explaining how Jay-Z allegedly executed his plan, Wright indicated that the forever young rapper had someone mimic the voice of Dame Dash's assistant. The imposter then called Aaliyah to tell her husband, Dame Dash, was sick and had been rushed to the hospital. The call got Aaliyah worried, and she hurried onto the plane to fly back to the States so she could be by her husband, only for the princess of R&B to meet her tragic end. Wright then insinuated that Jay-Z and Beyoncé tampered with Aaliyah's plane, which resulted in her demise. Now, these allegations might seem ludicrous, but it's only a matter of time, especially if we consider what is happening to Diddy right now. This is why many fans think that Jaguar should be careful with her utterances before they land her in trouble, as it did with Monique. Just like Jim Carrey and Wendy Williams, Monique has been exposing some of the elite in Hollywood for years and has paid the price. She was the first Black actor to openly criticize Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, and Lee Daniels for lowballing and blackballing actors in Hollywood. She called out Winfrey for looking to her own interests to the detriment of her fellow actors and accused Tyler Perry of stopping other producers from working with him. She also blasted Lee Daniels for refusing to work with her and instead giving out roles meant for her to other actors. During her turn on the Club Shay Shay podcast, the 56-year-old camera called out Oprah for snatching movie roles tailor-made for her. She explained how the TV host used her position and money to influence Lee Daniels to steal her role. Lee Daniels came out and said, "I did offer Monique the butler, but as he said to me, he said, Mo, at the time I didn't have no power and I didn't have no money," Monique said. So when Oprah said she wanted it, who played the lead role in The Butler? Oprah Winfrey. She also exposed Netflix's alleged racial and gender bias during contract negotiations for a new comedy special. The company offered her $500,000, which she initially accepted, but after learning that her colleague comedians Amy Schumer and Dave Chappelle had signed a similar deal with millions of dollars, she changed her mind. She felt that Netflix had taken advantage of her gender and race to lowball her while offering competitive rates to her colleagues. So, she sued the streaming giant. Initially, Netflix denied all the allegations and pledged to fight the case in court. Many fans criticized Monique for her actions, blasting her for being greedy and possessing skills. However, the actor and comedian was vindicated when the streaming platform settled out of court a few weeks later. Monique's campaign against the elite has cost her her career, but she continues to fight, hoping that one day things will improve for Black actors in Hollywood. Another critic of the Hollywood elite who has had to suffer for his actions is the indefatigable Katt Williams. Like Monique, Katt has been revealing secrets for decades and has suffered the consequences. He has been constantly arrested with no formal charges leveled against him. He's been accused of using yet no one can testify that they'd seen the veteran comedian do all his life. Others have also labeled him crazy, but there's no official record of him being admitted to any mental institution. All these, many fans believe, were lies fabricated to tarnish the image and reputation of Katt Williams. One of Katt's most famous quotes was when he predicted late last year that 2024 would be the year of reckoning for the likes of Diddy and Bishop T.D. Jakes. "Race is not where the line is drawn," Williams told former NFL tight end Shannon Sharpe on his Club Shay Shay podcast. "It's God's side and the other side, and we don't care nothing about the other side, period. All of these big D deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, all lies will be exposed. That's all, and anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light." He explained that he'd been gathering information about these deviants and would release them when the time was ripe. "Because in 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets," Williams continued. "So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing, somebody come to tell me." He told Sharpe how Diddy offered him money to sleep with him, but he refused because he wanted to protect his integrity. "I gotta protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about because P. Diddy be wanting to party, and you gotta tell him no," he said, adding, "You gotta tell him no, I did. I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you." Cat has also spoken at length about the Illuminati, associating them with the devil. He has, on numerous occasions, exposed their shady dealings and influence on the entertainment industry, something that Jaguar Wright claims once put him in danger. In an interview a few years ago, Wright narrated how Cat Williams slept with body armor because the Illuminati were after him. Narrating how it all began, the singer claimed that Cat was given a script for 2007's Comedy Central Flava Flav roast. However, Cat couldn't bring himself to clowning his fellow black man, especially when he was innocent and was just trying to make an honest living. He turned down the script and refused to go on stage despite immense pressure from the producers of the show. Jaguar Wright claims Cat's actions angered the elites, who began a manhunt to eliminate the veteran comedian. Thankfully, Cat was able to escape their clutches right before they got to him. Wright claims she witnessed all these attempts to put down Cat, which means she should be careful out there because those who came for Cat Williams could come after her too. Hopefully, she listens to the warnings of Jim Carrey and stays under the radar for the time being, which brings us to the end of today's video. Thanks for watching.